Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autothoughts and Decepticlowns. You are listening to Prime Cuts, a non-linear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Nero.
I'm your other host, Audrey.
We're back with more Cyberverse. We out here. Some shit is happening. Or rather, some shit has happened and we're learning about it.
Yeah, Cyberverse is an interesting series in which the first part of it is really heavily front-loaded with backstory.
Yeah, like we get one episode set mostly in the present, and then two episodes set various times far back. It's all very vague.
Yeah, well, you know, things happen over the course of a few million years.
Yeah, it was a while. It was just a couple million years ago. You know how it is. You know how it be. We watched episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Cyberverse Chapter 1. Those episodes being The Journey, Whiteout, and Megatron is My Hero.
So in The Journey, our first episode, we get introduced to a lot more Autobots.
Yeah, we
really
get a couple of first appearances. Also, can I just say, this episode is a Star Trek TOS episode.
Yes.
It's a huge Star Trek reference. I mean, Optimus literally has a captain's log.
Yeah, no, it is. Yes, this is a Star Trek TOS reference. We get two. So Chromie is also here. She doesn't say anything, but she's here in the background.
Yeah, we have a few first appearances from a lot of characters that just stand around and don't say anything.
Yeah, so Chromie is the notable one in this scene who just stands around and doesn't say anything. Grimlock is here. I love Cyberverse Grimlock. He's very fun. This scene actually introduces both one of my favorites and my absolute least favorite design for Cyberverse characters.
Is your absolute favorite Wheeljack?
My absolute least favorite is Wheeljack. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean,
it's the facial hair I could do, but then he has his pink negligee, and I'm just like, I can't.
I'm sorry, his what? Hang on, I need to look at him again.
Go take a look at Cyberverse Wheeljack. Explain to me what you think that pink thing is supposed to be.
Oh, it's his windshield, but it does look...
It's a negligee.
It does look like he's got... okay.
Yeah, it's a negligee.
He's dressed to impress. What can we say?
It's bad. It looks bad. He looks like shit.
But... Grimlock, it's interesting because obviously Grimlock has only had a couple of lines of dialogue up until now, and neither of them have been actually attributed to Grimlock. So this is the first time we spend any real amount of time with him. I think it's interesting that Grimlock is the square-jawed, like, Dirk Do-Gooder kind of guy. Like, he's a fucking... he's like almost like a 40s series. He's like a Flash Gordon-esque in terms of his attitude, which
Absolutely.
is fascinating because that is completely unlike literally any other Grimlock. Grimlock is always the kind of... He's extremely strong, and he's usually also quite arrogant. He's often positioned as like the more aggressive anti-hero leader to Optimus Prime. Or if you're in the G1 cartoon, he's like a cartoon dumb guy, especially in season 3 of G1. But I've never really seen Grimlock as like the fucking square-jawed adventurer. That's very interesting.
I really like this interpretation of Grimlock. I think it's fun. I think there's like, for anyone who knows Grimlock in other in other series, there's some very not subtle references.
Oh, for sure.
To it, including them trying to sneak in me Grimlock wherever they can, in a way that still makes sense for him.
So the episode starts out with, like I said, Optimus giving a captain's log. It's the voyage of the Ark, and things aren't going great. They're almost out of energon. Maybe partially because Wheeljack keeps doing things.
Yeah, this is a return to form for G1 Wheeljack, who is very much a mad scientist who makes things explode in Cyberverse as well.
He somehow blows up part of the ship while trying to boost its scanners. I guess it's possible that you could do that, but it just seems highly unlikely. But basically, what he's trying to do is get the Ark's scanners boosted so it can more easily detect the Allspark from farther away. But Optimus is like, no more projects. We need to focus on getting more Energon before we even think about stuff like that.
We are going to starve. Luckily, Teltran 1 is like, hey, don't even worry about it. I got a cool deposit for you right on this planet right here.
Or, as Optimus says, Teletron 1. He really hits that double A as like the tra.
Yeah, he does.
But there's like luckily there's a completely deserted planet for just chock full of Energon for them to pick.
Unluckily, when they get there, it appears to be deserted of Energon as well.
Yeah, they keep seeing the signals, but they can't figure out where they are. It's like it says that they're right in front of an Energon deposit, but they can't figure out where it is. And of course, immediately as a viewer, it's underground. But I guess the Energon scanner doesn't have a Z-axis on it.
Seems like a weird technological lapse for highly advanced mechanic beings. But
if you're making a scanner that detects a mineral, a thing that is usually known for being inside of planets, you'd think it'd be able to tell you if something was underground.
They split off. Optimus goes on his own, and Grimlock and Bumblebee adventure out together. Grimlock and Bumblebee come to a pit, and it's literally that green text working at the bottomless pit.
Yep, working at the bottomless pit factory. Oh my god! So Grimlock
Start
gets grabbed
at the not bottomless pit. It's bottomless.
Grimlock gets grabbed by the ghoulies and dragged into the bottomless pit. Unfortunate. And Bumblebee rushes out to find Optimus, and he's like, "Oh my god, Grimlock got snatched away." By the way, I get Bumblebee's voice box is working in this episode. I guess this is after Ratchet fixed it, but before it got busted again before he woke up on Earth, because it wasn't working when the Ark launched.
Right.
Just to keep the timeline straight of can be talk or not. The answer right now is yes.
I mean, for the most part, the answer is if it's in a memory, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Also, I realized what would make his radio stuff way less weird visually. If his eyes just did something. Like if his eyes blinked or glowed or whatever, like that'd be fine. I just need a visual indicator that he's speaking through the radio, because otherwise it just looks like he's staring blankly.
Though I will say, I did like in the next episode, I like the use of his radio a lot more.
Yes, it helps that they had other voice actors get in on
Correct.
it instead of
that it was
the one guy.
It was baked into the story.
Yeah, we got to see how he collects these things. But in the past, Optimus and Bumblebee find Grimlock through his big stompies, which are causing small earthquakes.
Yeah, well, to be clear, they find him because he causes an earthquake, which causes them to also fall into the bottomless pit.
That's right. So they hit the bottom of the bottomless pit, and Grimlock's like, holy fuck, that cave monster's gone, I guess. Oh shit, look at all the Energon over there.
And they're like, okay. And Bumblebee and Grimlock are like, great, let's go. And Optimus is like, well, didn't you say that there are things here? And Grimlock's like,
hey, what? And then bugs
I think it's
happen.
fine.
And then a lot of bugs happen.
Remember,
so many bugs happen.
Remember, kids, stomp a lanternfly today.
That's right. This Grimlock's from Philly.
I mean, listen, I stomped plenty of them in New York. Took one out while taking the trash out today.
Doing your civic duty. But these fellas are not stompable. It seems they're very hardy bugs. They get punched and squashed and slashed and shot, and they're chilling. They're good.
Eventually, they are able to extricate themselves.
Yeah, well, because what happens is that at first Optimus tells the others to stand their ground, and
Yeah. There's actually a great line from Grimlock here where Optimus is like, "We need the energon," and Grimlock's basically like, "We need to survive the next 3 minutes too."
yeah, but so Optimus is like, stand your ground, we got to get the energon. Then Optimus sees some of the bugs slurping on the energon. He's like, fuck, they eat the energon, we have to leave. And all of the Autobots retreat because Optimus is unwilling to endanger even a disgusting space bug for his own gain.
Even a space lanternfly.
He's just that darn noble. And Bumblebee, they get back to the Ark, and Wheeljack has finished boosting the thing, and Optimus has decided, since they couldn't recover any energon, everyone on the Ark is going to go into stasis mode to save on energy there. And of course, right before going under, Bumblebee hears Teletran 1 go, "Oh hey, I found the Allspark."
Yeah.
And he's like, wait. But no. He has to snooze.
And that's Journey.
That's the Journey. That was an episode of Star Trek: The Original Series. Now it's time for episode 5. White out. Bumblebee remembers his first memory of Earth, which is waking up in the middle of the Himalayan wastes and meeting a goat. It's a very funny looking goat.
He's just like me for real.
He mentions that the goats took him in.
Yeah, and that they butted him with their funny little heads.
And Windblade's like, hang on, I know those mountains. That's the Himalayas. Let me just simply go search the Himalayas for the stasis pod. That'll be really easy.
And Bumblebee's like, cool, let's go. And Windblade is like, no, I am going to do this. You are going to stay here because we cannot take this ship.
Yeah,
we'll find it.
Yeah, we can't take the ship because they'll find it. Also, yeah, and we can't, I can fly there very easily. You're a car. You cannot. And she tells him, don't press the big red button. Okay? That's the only rule. The only rule you have is don't press the big red button. And then she leaves. And he literally immediately tries to press it.
Well, he is warring with himself.
Yes, he is. His hand reaches towards it, but instead of pressing the big red button, he presses the button next to it, which turns on the TV.
And he is overstimulated. What follows is basically the equivalent of like the TikToks with 3 things going on at once. Yeah, like a sim video, one of those racer videos, and then like a TED Talk.
He's watching a speed run. He's watching Family Guy funny moments, and he's watching like fucking.
What he's actually watching is HD TV at 2 a.m. He's just watching infomercials.
There's a lot of infomercials. There's
and soap operas.
Yeah, there's some soap opera dialogue in there too. And he just spends the rest of this episode as a couch potato, just watching television. Meanwhile, Windblade is heading up to the Himalayas. And just checking in on Bumblebee over the comms, which gets picked up by Nova Storm and Thundercracker, who are still around. And they call that in to their captain, Slipstream.
Women.
Now, of course, Slipstream is another character who originated in animated. Fun fact about Slipstream.
Not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot, but a couple Seekers.
Yeah.
From one specific episode of animated.
She represents some part of Starscream. Anyway, we in animated at least. So Windblade or Slipstream says, "All right, just tail her and wait for me to show up. Don't engage, because I know you guys are just gonna get your ass beat without me there." And Windblade makes it to the mountains and starts scanning around. She meets the goat. The goat is we love the goat, and she does find the stasis pod, and she's really excited at first because maybe there's someone in there. But, of course, it's empty because it's the pod that Bumblebee fell out of.
Yeah. But hey, there's a blaster.
There is. She finds his gun. And she's like, hey, that's pretty good. So she puts it in her little backpack, and then instantly the Seekers jump down and confront her. Slipstream is here, and she's like, she just wants to have a little conversation. That's all. The conversation is guns, by the way.
It's yeah. So so Siflin's like, Windblade, you and I need to talk, and Windblade's like, yeah, what do you want to say? And then Slipstream just shoots her, which is extremely funny.
Yes.
And it's like, again, this is looking forward a bit, but like I almost can't blame Starscream for everything he does, because anything he does in this series, because it's so clear that all Seekers by their very nature are just constantly bark snarl.
Oh yeah. All
Like,
of these guys so far have just been fucking going at it. It's nuts.
like there are many canons that, talk about Seekers being war builds or whatever, but like Cyberverse is like, yeah, no, they're war builds for real.
I mean, in the third episode, we see Shockwave working on one.
Well,
it has two heads for some reason. But,
I was about to say, kind of two.
But he was just feeling a little whimsical that day, So yeah,
Dr.
Slipstream.
Caligary's.
Slipstream pretty quickly dispatches Windblade here, and stomps on her chest a little bit. And asks her all the usual questions, like where's Optimus Prime, where's the Ark, what are you doing here on Earth, are there other Autobots here on Earth? And Windblade just goes, who are you exactly?
And again, the Seekers being just constantly bark snarl. It actually takes nothing to set them off.
Oh yeah, they have fucking hair trigger tempers. This pisses Slipstream off to no end. And Windblade manages to break free because she's being like held by the other two, and she does the Buzz Lightyear maneuver to break free. She deploys her fucking wings to knock them over. And what follows is a pretty cool action sequence in the snow. So first, but I forgot to. I want to mention Thundercracker. When Windblade starts, insulting Slipstream, he goes like, "Don't talk to her like that. You need to respect Slipstream." I just thought that was funny.
He's a little weenie in this.
He's a little weenie.
I mean, he's a little weenie everywhere that he shows up, but he's particularly weenie in Cyberverse.
He just wants the thumbs up from Slipstream. That's all he wants. Anyway, he gets chucked off a cliff quite
Once
quickly.
again, Thundercracker, you can fly.
He forgets this.
The funniest thing about this is that, like, Nova Storm gets Windblade is just a little bit later, in a moment that this too is Yuri, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Gets does the same thing to Windblade. Like, she throws Windblade over the cliff, and she's like, "Cool, great." And then Windblade just flies up and almost hits her in the face because she can fly. Everyone forgets that they can fly, apparently, except for Windblade.
Yeah, all of the Seekers constantly forget. No, okay, so yeah, I noted this down because after she hucks Thundercracker off of a cliff, Nova Storm attacks and literally goes directly for the throat.
Yeah.
Like, no funny business, just directly hands around throat. Then she dangles Windblade over the edge of the cliff and puts her finger to her lips and shushes.
Yeah, this too is Yuri.
What is going on here? Hello?
This too is Yuri.
But Windblade escapes. Oh, well, she and Slipstream have a little tussle down a mountain, and Slipstream just kind of gets lost somewhere in the blizzard that starts picking up here. Like, she just kind of disappears from the fight. Oh no, that's not true. She does reappear, and then Windblade hits her with the old boomerang fan trick. Gets him every time.
Works every time. The one time we've seen it so far.
She did something similar to Nova Storm and Thundercracker when she knocked the fucking rocks on them in a couple of episodes ago. But yeah, she flies back, and she's like, well, Bumblebee, I didn't find the Ark, but I did find your stasis pod, so we know for sure that the Ark is somewhere on this planet. We just need to figure it out.
And when she's back again, we touched upon this a little bit before, but Bumblebee has now expanded his speech patterns to not just radio lines voiced by his actual voice actor, but but lines from the TV he had been watching all day.
One of them is some guy yelling, "This cake tastes like chicken."
Yeah.
And I just wanted to note that because I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, yeah, he says all of the lines that we kind of saw him parroting previously in the episode, and Windblade gives him his gun back, and he's very happy.
And that is Whiteout.
Now, this is the meatiest episode.
Yeah, now we get lore.
This week. Yeah, this is the lore episode. This is Megatron is My Hero, which immediately starts off with Megatron absolutely obliterating a dude in the gladiatorial arena before the war, and Bumblebee going, "That guy's so fucking cool. Megatron's my hero."
Yeah, and then it cuts to the opening credits.
Yeah, cold open intro, and then immediately after the credits go, and Windblade just goes, "Bro, what the fuck? What did you just say?"
Yeah, it's literally so my line on, first of all, so Megatron has like a couple of lines in this flashback as him as a gladiator, which are, so ridiculous. One of them being like, "I'm here, but when I fight, I'm not alone because I have all of you behind me." It's like, all right,
Yes.
The people's gladiator, great.
The people's champion. He's the Rock.
Yeah.
And
And
Bumblebee. Oh, go ahead.
I want to note that Bumblebee high fives Shockwave over this. They are
He
sitting next to
does.
each other and they high five, and
They're pals.
not for long.
What? He seems so normal later. He has an army of little drones modeled after his own alternate. He's so regular.
And he's doing like crimes against Cybertronians.
That crimes against Primus. That's right.
Yeah. So the other thing is that like the speech that Megatron's giving ends with him saying "Till all are one again," and all I could think about when they cut back from the opening credits is, when they be like, "No, Bumblebee, he's not your hero. He just referenced the worst miniseries that I was in."
Bumblebee, that comic fucking sucks.
It was so bad, Bumblebee.
It doesn't have the Sarah Stone art. It had that stupid shit about Starscream's true body.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
The Sarah Stone art was the only redeeming thing about it.
No, I don't think she did she work on that one? Hang on.
Yeah, no, that was Sarah Stone.
Let me check. It
Regrettably.
might not have been. Live research. No, I don't want the phrase. I want the mini series. It wasn't a mini series. It was like a small ongoing. No, it was Sarah DeRoker. Different Sarah. So it didn't even have the Sarah Stone art. Sad. Oh well. There are other. Regardless, Windblade is like, no. You forgot how fucked up Megatron is. You need to think harder and kind of remember how we got here, my friend. And so we get the very first Decepticon rally with some interesting guys in attendance.
I'm not sure it's actually a Decepticon rally at this point.
Well, it's the announcement of the Decepticons. It's the initial it's like the initial like branding of the movement. It's Megatron saying that they will rise up against something. Look, they have 11 minutes. They can't exactly tell us about Cybertron's political situation. Functionally, this episode is like a super fucking speed ran version of like IDW Megatron origin story. Basically, like we just hustle through that shit, you know?
Yeah. Interesting cast of characters behind him.
So, obviously Soundwave, Starscream, those aren't surprising.
And
Those
Shockwave.
guys are always there.
So it's
Shockwave and
three
Shadow
of his
Striker.
Right, and Shadow Striker, right. So it's 4 of his actual lieutenants, and then they're interspersed with Optimus, RC, and Bumblebee.
Nope, wrong. Bumblebee's the audience. The
No,
third
you're right. Ratchet.
It's Ratchet in the background, which is interesting. Also, by the way, Saren Stone. They came out as non-binary at some point.
Oh, my bad.
So Yeah, Bumblebee seems to be into the whole Decepticon thing at that rally, but once again, Windblade's like, no, you gotta go deeper. You gotta think harder, okay, Bumblebee. You need to think harder about Megatron. So he does, and he goes deeper, and he remembers sometime later when he and Optimus are rolling up to Megatron's like little command center, right? With some generic orange seekers.
Yeah, we've already seen a bunch of them, and you will see more of them.
Oh yeah. They kind of push their way. And by the way, I really enjoy that apparently at this point in time, Optimus is still a data clerk. He's like 6'7" and talks, and he's built like a fucking linebacker. But no, he's like a data clerk. He's like a librarian.
Yeah. Starscream even makes fun of him for it.
You better be obeying the Dewey Decimal System, or I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah. So Optimus and Bumblebee, we cut to them being like, "Hey, so newsflash." Yeah, Windblade's like, "No. This still paints him too good. Look deeper." And then, like, yeah, look deeper. You have to remember how much of a bastard he is.
Yeah, we kind of get the spark of the war here, which of course is Optimus and Megatron arguing about stuff.
Yeah. So basically Optimus and Bumblebee decide to visit Megatron at the Decepticon HQ to stop him from committing terrorism, presumably.
Yeah, we don't get any details, but presumably he's killing people, blowing stuff up or whatever.
Yeah. If he has not come to violence yet, it is imminent.
Yeah. And Optimus is like, no, we must not do this.
Yeah.
And Megatron's like, but I wanna.
So right, as they're going through past these Golden Seekers again, there's like the whole menagerie of Decepticons that they get through. As we mentioned before, Sunstorm is there. That's fun.
Yeah, he's there. There's like a whole little smattering of minor seekers. We got Sunstorm, Thrust, Acid Storm, Ramjet. They're all the fucking Z tier guys are there.
I mean, the Coneheads.
No, they're Z tier. I'm sorry.
In this they're Z tier. In G1 they're like
D
R tier.
Yeah, they're slightly better, I suppose.
But the most notable one is, as we mentioned before, is Shockwave doing crimes against Primus.
He is
doing surgery on a grape.
He's got a two-headed seeker, however that happened, and he's just doing some work on it. He like looks over his shoulder.
Like Strafe.
He looks over his shoulder at Bumblebee and basically hisses like a cat. There's also Shadow Striker, who we're naming her. She hasn't been named yet, but she's the like purple lady who, depending on what time the flashback is in, is either like a sleek bounty hunter or like a cobbled together person. We'll probably learn how that happened. She's great. I like her. Like looking at Bumblebee. What are you looking at, motherfucker? And he literally was not looking at her.
All I could think of when it got to Shockwave is Bumblebee being, how could you do this? We high-fived.
I know, right?
Don't be a sicko.
I went to football with that guy like 3 weeks ago. What the fuck? Yeah, but war's on. That's basically, he offers Bumblebee and Optimus the ultimatum, and they turn it down. You know how it be. You know
how it Bumblebee. And then we get like our last real flashback.
Yeah, we get Windblade checking in one more time and going like, you see, that's what Megatron plunged this planet into war. He took so much from us. He took so much from you. And Bumblebee's like, wait, what was that last part? And Windblade's like, no, wait, hang on, don't re-traumatize yourself.
Yeah. She's like, you don't need to know about it. In fact, you don't even need to know what it is. She's like, you don't need to see those details.
Don't even worry about it, man. Don't even think about it. But he's like, I want to think about it.
Well, now I'm thinking about it. You just said don't think about the pink elephant, so guess what?
Fuck. Inception got me again.
So the last flashback is of after the war has started. Cybertron's on fire.
Yep. I like to think that this is 3 weeks later. It just went to hell real fast.
I mean, it'd be really fun if it went to hell that quickly and then lasted at the same pace, like plateaued for 4 million years.
Oh yeah, just nightmare shit. Bumblebee is doing some scouting. You know how it be. He's broken into Shockwave's lab.
Right. And Shockwave, as Nero mentioned earlier, has created drones that kind of look like his gun form.
Yeah, in this continuity, Shockwave turns into like basically a Metal Gear. Like it's a tank with mech legs on it. It looks pretty cool. Anyway, he's got Vector Sigma down there, just all casual, like, you know, it's fine, it's normal. And you know, Megatron's telling him once the Allspark is delivered, the plan can begin.
So everyone needs to capture Bumblebee.
Because he gets seen. I was there, and Shockwave was with the God computer, and there were babies, and one of the babies looked at me, and it scared me, and then I got chased.
Shockwave immediately. This is the funniest thing to me, is that Shockwave immediately calms Starscream.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna. Starscream, get him.
Starscream, acquire the target. And Starscream immediately bitches back at him. He's like, why do I always clean up your messes? But he's
a busy man. He needs to do more crimes against God.
He goes after Bumblebee with 2 Golden Seekers in tow. The Golden Seekers are useless. Bumblebee takes them out very, very quickly.
One of them runs into a wall and explodes.
Yeah, he's dead, but it's fine. My favorite.
Thankfully, that'll be the only gruesome death in Cyberverse, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's definitely the only one you'll see on screen.
Wink.
The great line. There's Starscream has my favorite line of this episode. As he continues pursuing Bumblebee, which is, stay still, you little dirt-kissing ground pounder.
I wrote that down. I was like, wow, that is the most racist thing on Cybertron. He just said, like, 8 slurs.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I want to shake the hand of whoever came up with that line.
You dirt-kissing ground pounder.
You little dirt-kissing ground pounder.
Good lord. But yeah, he manages to avoid Starscream with the strat of tunnel. And, you know, Starscream doesn't play Ace Combat, so he can't fly into the tunnel. But you know who can?
Shadow Striker.
And once again, this is her weird Frankenstein together appearance. I don't know how she got like that. Presumably we will learn.
A lot happened in those 3 weeks.
Yeah, a lot. It seems like a lot happened. I hope we see that 2-headed Seeker sometime again. Anyway, Shadow Striker seems to, you know, be tossed away. She gets stingered, but Soundwave is here, and he's got a fucking wall of sound to deal with this little dirt-kissing ground pounder.
He's so cool.
He's literally the coolest guy so far. And he fucks Bumblebee all the way up. Like, no trouble at all. Just fucking obliterates him, and he gets dragged off to Megatron.
And you won't believe yeah, so Shadow Striker's also there. She helps. She's like, I helped.
She looks like she's ready to fucking kill Bumblebee right then and there, but Megatron's like, nah, it's fine. I want to talk to him.
And she protests. Soundwave doesn't do much, but she protests, and Megatron just like looks at her and is like, "What is he gonna do to me, Shadow Striker?"
Look at me and look at him. It's fine. And then he turns to Bumblebee and is like, "Hey, what if I made a Decepticon ethno state? Wouldn't that be nice? That's what Till 1 means, right?"
Yeah.
And Bumblebee's like, "No, actually, that doesn't sound nice. It sounds fucked up."
Very diametrically opposed to my ideals, actually.
Actually, I'm glad I did not join you. And Megatron's like, "That's fine." And you know, Bumblebee's like, "I'm gonna tell everyone about this plan." And Megatron's like, "Actually, no, because I'm gonna do some stuff to you." And this camera pan is so much more brutal than if we saw it happen, by the way.
Yeah.
Because we see Megatron wrap his hands around Bumblebee's throat, and then, you know, he screams, and the scream gets more distorted as he tears out his voice box.
Yeah.
And we just pan over to a destroyed billboard with a bunch of loose wires sparking.
It's grim.
Don't you like
the
visual
series gets
storytelling?
grim.
And yeah, and yeah, so he's the one who tore out Bumblebee's voice box, as is often usually the case in continuities where he's missing his voice box. I think that's the case in the movie, and that's also the case in Prime. Well, it's the case in the original Bay movie.
Yeah.
In Bumblebee, it's Blitzwing.
Right.
Um,
And it was also like alluded to here earlier
yes.
in this
So,
series.
and when he comes out of this memory, and Windblade is obviously pretty worried about him re-experiencing that, but he seems fine. He's laughing. He's like, he'll never get me to stop talking. I love talking. But I think it's fairly clear he's just kind of putting on a brave face for this, because that's grim. That's some fucked up shit to go through, my man.
Yeah, and he's like, the last part of it is him being like, I can't believe I ever said that Scud was my hero.
Scud, yeah. Then we get some new Transformers profanity in this show, because at this point they can't use slag anymore because that means slut in like Britain. So
Right.
they had to make up new stuff. I like
really,
Scud.
they should have just stuck with things like dirt kissing ground pounder.
Dirt kissing ground pounder. I'll always have a soft spot for Sideways calling Hotshot a turbo nerd in the Armada for fucking dub. But yeah, that's Megatron is my hero. It's fine. It's fine.
We're doing great.
We're
We're
doing
an hour
great.
into this series, to be clear.
Oh yeah, this is a happy hour mark, everyone. You could watch all of Chapter 1 in like an afternoon. Like I'm pretty sure all of those episodes together are like 2 hours and some change. It's like watching one of the Bay movies, but not a nightmare. Regardless, that'll be the end of our episode coverage. But we've got some questionerinos to answer. We don't have any. Oh no, we do have one on
we did get one on
Twitter.com, which is what it still says in the address bar. Elon, you dipshit. That X doesn't fool me. That up in the corner, I know what it is. I can see through the smoke and mirrors. Anyway, all cats are lesbians at What Is Cosplay asks, does Grimlock's speech pattern count as a form of Yoda speech? Hey, if the Quintessence created a warrior race that had chemical dependence on a specific chemical that they stored in cube. If the Quintessence created a warrior race that had a chemical dependence on a specific chemical that they stored, I assume there was supposed to be a what if in there. Are there Quintessence in this show? It doesn't seem like there are.
I don't remember them, but I actually haven't watched all of it.
Maybe they pop
I
up
never
later.
watched Chapter 4, so.
Maybe there's some Quintessence in there, but I don't remember hearing about any. Grimlock's speech pattern is not Yoda speech. Obviously, this Grimlock does not have the classic Grimlock speech pattern, but he just talks like Captain Caveman. He's just like a dumb caveman guy. His grammar
the only thing I
is-
will say, I mentioned it in passing, but I didn't say the actual line. Is I did say that they try to get in me Grimlock as much as possible, and he had a line where while they were fighting the lantern bugs, where the lantern flies that he went, "You're strong, but not as strong as me, Grimlock."
That's pretty good.
Which is a very funny. So they keep trying. This is not the last time that they will try to do that, but they wedge it in very funny ways.
Very good. But yeah, no. Classic Grimlock speech pattern, I don't think it's Yoda speech because there's not as much grammatical reshuffling, I don't think. It's mostly just that he just eliminates like prepositions mostly. I don't know grammar. Get a grammar guy to tell you what Grimlock's like speech quirk is. I don't know what it is.
He doesn't use subject pronouns, he only uses object pronouns.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah. Now,
So he actually
how about
speaks similarly to like a patois or Creole, because that's
Creole Grimlock? Hang on a minute.
well, I rather a patois, a Creole, or a pidgin, which are like formal linguistic terms, as opposed to the like ethnic label of Creole.
Right. But what if? Interesting idea. Someone should get on that. Someone should see about those possibilities. Anyway, how about you take us through the Discord?
Yeah. For the record, a pidgin is a combination of two languages when a colonizer takes over a colony, and those are forced to combine. And a Creole is that same pidgin after it has been learned as the first language by a generation.
Right.
Just as a heads up. All right. Questions from
you learn something on this podcast.
Yeah, I was a linguistics minor. Teehee. From Ruby Road Rage, how many Purple Seekers does it take to change out a light bulb? There's no number of them that could do it in this show.
You remember there's that bit in the IDW comics where all of the Decepticons get pulled into the really big, stupid Decepticon? You need that amount of Purple Seekers. You need like 5 million of them, and maybe they can change the light bulb. It's not 100. It's like it's like a 75% chance though. There's no number you can get to where you can get 100% chance they're going to change that light bulb.
Yeah. Okay, from EBDB Miss Prime. Well, someone has to say it. So, how much money would Megatron make by posting on X.com, formerly known as Twitter.com, because his ass would pay for the clout check mark?
See, I don't think he would. Megatron's not that guy. At least not this. I'm trying to think if there are any Megatrons that would do that, and I can't really think of it. Never mind. Armada and Megatron would, but he probably would anyway, just for so he can be first in every comment section. Would he be posting inflammatory shit to the timeline to get that ad revenue?
Yes. Well, no, he would be doing it because he enjoys doing it, but the ad revenue would be a bonus point.
That's like a special bonus.
Yeah.
Now every version of Starscream would do.
Yes.
Except once again, Armada.
Well, again, I'm just not sure if he wouldn't be too cheap to do it.
That's true. Some of them are definitely too stingy. Now, Armada Starscream Animated Starscream is definitely not. Animated Starscream absolutely has the check mark.
Okay, that's fair, yeah.
He's paying $16 somehow.
I'm not sure Prime Starscream.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
He's all about budget cuts. He's all about combat engagements.
He also needs a new liver. So
that's true.
He really doesn't have the money to spare for most of that show.
He's gotta save up. Fucking Mr. Crimes took his liver.
Is that a spoiler? That's not a spoiler, is it?
It is technically a spoiler.
Sorry about it. But looking ahead, folks, Starscream gets his organ stolen.
That's right.
Yeah. No, animated absolutely would do it.
Oh, he all of his clones also would.
Yeah. Except maybe Slipstream.
Yeah, she's the smart one. But this Megatron, he only has it because it's really the love of the game,
Yeah.
It's not about chasing the cloud. He's already got all the cloud he needs.
Actually, he didn't ask for it, but Elon forced it on him.
Right.
And now he's just gaming it.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Whatever. I'll roll with it,
Okay, from Aurora. What Autobot has been forced to have a blue check mark by notable Transformer villain Elon Musk? Well, we just said Megatron.
Autobot.
Oh, which Autobot? You're right.
Wheeljack.
I think the funniest one would be Ultra Magnus. He would try to sue over it.
You're right. Because
he reads every single one of those TNC.
Absolutely. Oh my god. You got it in one. Absolutely. It's Ultra Magnus.
Okay. Nero from Disney Minus asks, which Transformer gets to kill him in Minecraft and how brutal and or funny is it? Again, Megatron.
Yeah, he gets the Ironhide in the 86 movie treatment, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
Just the no-look whoomp.
Listen, we have a character who was the professional blood sport person, so...
That's right.
I would leave it to him.
He's got it. Look, I trust him to have it handled.
We're getting into a lot of Elon Musk here now. I'm kind of fascinated by the way these.
How did that start? I did not mention him in the question post. It just happened organically.
Yeah. So again from Ruby Road Rage, Ruby.
Wait, no, you skipped one from Rosie the Riveter.
Oh, I did. Sorry, from Rosie the Riveter. This is mostly for the last episode. Which Transformer would you turn goth? I think I said Ultra Magnus for that as well, didn't I?
I think you said.
No, he said Perceptor.
Yeah, you said Perceptor last time,
which
But
is
this
also
opens
really
up to
funny.
more than an Autobot, though. So you can also turn a Decepticon goth if you want to.
And they're already goth.
Most of them are indeed already goth. What about...
Okay, but I will say a very funny other person to turn goth would be Hot Rod.
That's kind of what happened in Lost Light.
No, he turned sad. He turned depressed. There's a difference.
He painted himself purple.
I mean, yeah.
He picked up a megaphone and said, "I'm entering my sad girl era, everyone."
Beachcomber.
Just to let you all know. Beachcomber.
Beachcomber. Beachcomber is such a funny. Oh my god, that's it. It's Beachcomber.
Beach goth, Beachcomber. Ooh, that's powerful. I like that. Goth Perceptor and Goth Beachcomber are two of the most powerful gothifications we can conceive of.
Perceptor was a pretty good first call, I have to say.
It was.
Yeah.
Put some eyeliner on that.
It's so shaky though because he only has one eye that can see well.
The depth perception. Yes. No, it's fine. We can just have him and Brainstorm reenact that one picture of the two girls applying the makeup. That can be them. It's fine.
That's right. Really good simpatico content we're creating here. Okay, now from Ruby Row Rage Ruby again. If we were to banish Melon Musk from existence and into the Transformers universe, what would be his villainous traits? The same as they are right now. Almost every human villain in a Transformers series is just a big tech guy.
Yeah, like literally that one guy from Dark of the Moon, I'm pretty sure was a tech bro, right? Like the guy from Age of Extinction.
Yeah. 100%.
Stanley Tucci, he's a tech guy. Like, they're all tech guys.
They're all tech guys.
Arkaville was a Silicon Valley pioneer, I'll have you know.
Yeah,
he made the Juicero.
Look at animated, right?
Oh my god, there's so many of them. Fucking Henry Masterson. He's Headmaster. Absolutely has a fucking Twitter check mark.
Sumac himself.
Yeah, Sumdac. I think Sumdac also has the check mark. But Henry Masterson, now that's an Elon Musk reply guy right there.
Yeah.
Epic bacon today, sir.
From Short Scream chat, do you prefer big dumb Grimlock like G1 or big smart Grimlock like here? I like them both.
I prefer big angry Grimlock. I like the comics Grimlock.
I do like the comics Grimlock. I do like that in Cyberverse he has room to actually be a character.
Yeah, he is more than the dumb muscle he is in the G1 cartoon, or he's also kind of dumb muscle animated, but he's way more of like an unpredictable wild card type of character.
Yeah.
I kind of like anti-hero Grimlock, but yeah, I am interested in seeing where square-jawed hero Grimlock goes. That's a fascinating way to take the character.
I do also really like this version of Grimlock, just because we don't have any other character, period. Not just any other form of Grimlock, but any other character, period, in most series that fills this particular niche that he does.
Yeah, not really.
Of, like, the daring-do adventurer, basically.
Hot Rod thinks he's this, but he's not.
Yeah, he's like this, but in a decade.
Right.
Nero from Disney Minus asks, how would you go about making a Halloween/horror episode of Transformers? Use any Transformer y'all would feel would make sense, would be funny in it. I mean,
it's all the perfect one already exists, and it's in Prime Season 2.
Yeah, Spark Eaters are always a good way to go.
Yep, for sure. And also, I like Along Came a Spider. That's a pretty good Halloween episode. Right, yeah, the one from Prime Season 2 is literally just like the best one. I can't really come up with one better than that. It's great.
It's very good.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Prime Season 2 is one of the best seasons of Transformers
The
media.
Starscream and Knockout content in that episode is fucking phenomenal. I love those two.
Yeah. I forgot about that, yeah. Sobwitch in the Fog asks, what's the main social media site / posting style of the characters you've seen so far? Are they worth following?
I like this one because now I feel comfortable actually answering this because I have a lot more familiarity with a lot of our cast here. Optimus is definitely like just he tweets like Chris Evans.
I don't think Optimus tweets. I think he has a Facebook.
That's right, and I think he types in all caps. He doesn't know how to turn it off.
He either types in all caps or he capitalizes the first letter of every word.
Bumblebee is a TikTok boy.
Absolutely.
He's doing the TikTok dances. He's doing all of it, you know.
Windblade.
And, you know,
Oh, sorry.
Personally, I would not follow Bumblebee, but that's because I'm not on TikTok.
Windblade posts only on LinkedIn.
She's a professional. Not about that tweet life. Soundwave. He's got a SoundCloud. He's got a Bandcamp. He posts. He's posting tracks. He's very enigmatic. No one knows anything about him. He never tweets. He never posts. Shadow Striker definitely has 4 different vent accounts for several different things, and it's all only her. She just follows them with her other accounts. That's the vibe I get from her right now.
Megatron
Grimlock.
tweets.
Oh, he tweets. He's a tweeter. He's a big time tweeter. Grimlock posts hiking selfies and stuff. He's like an adventure blog. He's like a travel blogger. He's always diving and hiking and all of that stuff.
Grimlock has a YouTube channel.
Yes, absolutely. He makes dad jokes the whole time. God, I mean, the Seekers just have a giant group chat, right? Like,
they're just on Discord.
I was so scared of the oh my god, what is that one meme of the audio of like all of the kids in the Discord call? And then someone joins and they all scream disconnect. That's the Seekers when Slipstream joins the call.
Oh, well.
Or Starscream.
Yeah, I was about to say Starscream's really the one. Oh, man.
Shockwave has been banned from most social.
Shockwave has, like, a restraining order against him from using the internet.
Yeah, he can't go on the internet.
It is a condition of his parole.
Yes. Are there any other characters that we know so far? Oh, Wheeljack. Wheeljack is another YouTube guy to me. He's the DIY life hacks guy, but they all go. He's really popular, but only because all of his videos go catastrophically wrong.
Wheeljack has a stem Tumblr.
Absolutely.
Okay. And our last question this week is again from Nero from Disney Minus. Do you prefer pre-human Earth, human Earth, or post-human Earth for a Transformers series?
Have we ever had there is one show that I know of that is set on a post-apocalyptic Earth, I think. And I'm pretty sure it's Beast Wars Neo, the Japan-only anime that has never been officially released here.
Huh.
But other than that, I don't think there are any, a post-apocalyptic Transformers series would be interesting. But we never have ever gotten any. That obviously, there's also, there's no Earth series. There's, large portions of this show, and Beast Machines and stuff like that in the War for Cybertron trilogy.
Right.
Look, I know that I rag on the human characters a lot, but I do like the Autobots hanging out in the world and interacting with humans.
I would say I like a post-human Earth best just because I think it's easiest to do well.
Yeah.
I think human Earth is the most interesting when done well. I just don't trust it.
Well, you get a lot of annoying guys out of it, right? I mean, you get yellow, but with no real thing to point to for a Transformers series set on a post-human Earth, I have to go with human Earth because it's just that's just unexplored territory. That's the one I want to see now. I want to see more of that, but
I think the question might be trying to refer to Cyberverse here. Obviously, it's not actually post-human, but it might as well be.
Yeah, I mean,
or maybe it's not obviously post-human. Not post-human.
I mean, we see Windblade fly through cities and stuff, and there's TV. The thing about Cyberverse is that they are on Earth, and there are humans, just off screen, just over there,
Yeah.
But a true post-human Transformers series would be kind of fascinating. I'm not gonna lie. There's bits of just a couple of bits of some IDW stuff that kind of dips into that, but I want I don't know. I'm gonna ruminate on that. I'm gonna think about that. Fascinating idea, old chap.
Well, as they think about that, that is it for us this week. We've been Prime Cuts. You can find us on Twitter at Prime Cuts Pod. I'll probably make a Blue Sky for us soon.
Oh, you got that invite?
Yeah, I've been on Blue Sky for a bit, so if you want one, I can get you one.
Ooh, maybe I'll take you up on that.
We are also part of the Noise Space Network. A lot of good stuff on that. You should join our Discord. Descriptions in the link. Descriptions in our Twitter bio. Links in our description. Links in our Twitter bio. My God. And I've been Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr, Twitter, co-host, and yes, Blue Sky at Optimum on Prime, my funny robot internet joke. You can listen to the other podcast I do. It's called Pod Agreed. It's about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's also on Noise Space. I am part of a radio drama that will hopefully be having updates very soon because we're finally having some forward momentum there. And I'm also starting a New York Foodie podcast with a friend on Moonshot that's going to be called I'm Eden Here. Stay tuned for more on that.
I am Nero. You can find me on Twitter at Dragonswood. You find me on co-host at Dragon Snuggler. Find me on Tumblr at Cyclonus with a 5. You can find my various other projects in various other places. Radio Free Heidelin, a show that it will be relaunched later this month with a new format. You can find that at Heidelin Radio on Twitter and Radio Free Heidelin on co-host. Talk Cycles will have its socials and its own feed up somewhat soon. That's both shows I do with my friend Jane. Radio Free Heidelin is about Final Fantasy XIV, and Talk Cycles is about contemporary animation, Western animation. And we've also got the Pod of Power about She-Ra that you can find in anywhere you get your podcast. That's still a great show, both the podcast and the animated series. You should watch it. It's good. That's it for me.
All right. Well, until next time, then I'm going to stomp on a lanternfly, transform and roll out.
I am going to graciously allow the disgusting space cockroaches to live their lives, transform and roll out.
Wow, so brave.
I'm so noble. I know.
Peach.
Peach.